All right, guys. So I found an Australian in the wild here in Mexico, who you now identify as Mexican almost, right?
I'm a lost Australian. Yeah, I haven't been home for a while.
So what have you heard about how Australia? Because I've heard in the news Australia has quarantine camps that they're dragging people or Aboriginals away from their homes.
I come from Melbourne, so my friends and family have been in the longest lockdown.
Yeah.
And I know that they're now not handling it well.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of depression and people are just really sad, and the government does seem to be dragging people out that haven't committed to vaccines, and
it's crazy, right?
It's gone a bit crazy.
Now,
and
I
that's
think
not an Australian thing.
I always was under belief. I never went to Australia that it was a country of freedom.
Yeah.
And watching this in the news is heartbreaking.
Yes.
I see that there's almost thought police now, where if they see you say something online.
It's heartbreaking because Australia is a free country and we're not crazy, and we don't have gun shootings and violence and mass crazy riots, and all of a sudden we've got that.
Right. Which we don't even see in the news here because there's like a blackout. They're not showing it on TV.
And it's hard because I'm not back in Australia as well. It's hard for me because I don't actually get to see it.
Do you think that the reason why Australia is in this position they're in is because they don't have guns anymore? Because a lot of people say in the 90s, I know that Australia confiscated guns.
That's a whole different conversation. But very quickly, the Port Arthur massacre meant that we had an amnesty on all semi-automatic and automatic weapons. So we've still got guns, we've still got the light, we're still allowed to have guns.
Like pistols and stuff?
Yeah, we can only shoot one person, not 20.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think would change anything. I don't think gun laws would be changing anything of what's happening in Australia right now. I think Australia is used to a freedom and a quality of life and an enormously great quality of life.
Yeah.
Voted constantly as one of the great places to live.
Yeah.
And when the COVID lockdowns happened, I think they had taken everything for granted. They just don't have an ability to handle it. It's like a toddler.
Right.
Australia right now is like a toddler that's having its favourite toy removed.
I remember that at one point they were reopening and then one person had COVID.
Yeah, and that was
Some 85-year-old man.
Yeah, and that closed
died
down.
from COVID or something. And then they said, nope, back to lockdowns.
Back to lockdown. Yeah, so Melbourne's been out of lockdown for like a week or 2 weeks and then straight back into lockdown.
So how do you get out of it? How does this end? What do you think has to happen?
Oh, that's a big question. I don't think that's even just related to Australia.
No,
how
it's not. How does this end in general, like on the global perspective?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what I'm doing to make it end is I don't wear the mask at all unless someone asks me to. Even here in Mexico, I don't wear the mask unless they say, can you put one on? Then I'll put one on. But I think that some of us, and this is my theory, we need to make it normal for it to be normal again.
But you're living in a place in Mexico that has managed to escape the rigmaroles of and the devastation of COVID.
Right. Like, maybe it's because of the weather.
That's what they used to say. I remember because I did lockdown here.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's true, but we certainly didn't see deaths and problems here.
But what's crazy
and then they had strict protocol at the time, and now...
Well, like Mexico City now is 99% vaccinated, meaning one dose at least, and everyone still wears the masks there. It's like, you're all vaccinated, so why the masks? And that's the thing that really gets to me is like, if these vaccines work, if the data says it's work, if you trust it, then I think the masks could come off. And yet, we're seeing a lot of places, nope. Still the masks. So
I have businesses in New York, and they have just mandated in certain counties around me that the masks are back.
And on top of the vaccine passports.
Because of the Omicron.
Yeah, Omicron, yeah.
Yeah, so they've just said masks are back, they're mandated. I don't know what to do.
I think
I'm here for the next 6 months again. And
Good. Enjoy Mexico.
Have to go home to America, and then I'll come back here.
Wow.
It is what it is.
Can you get into? Are you vaccinated?
I am vaccinated.
So you can get into the U.S. Okay.
Yeah.
Because right now
they've just mandated you've got to have your test within 24 hours of the flight.
Even if you're vaccinated.
Yep.
And guess what? The only good thing is I'll be honest. I'm not vaccinated. I could still get into the U.S. without it.
How?
Because there's they call it it's not a loophole. It says U.S. citizens are not beholden to that rule. So I just have to get tested like you guys do. But my vaccination status is irrelevant as a citizen.
I don't know whether, to be honest, I don't know whether they ask you to be vaccinated to go into America.
As a foreign, if you don't have a U.S. citizenship, as of November 8th, they do. So that's when they changed it, but 3 weeks ago. But you don't have to worry. You're vaccinated.
I can't be bothered trying to keep up with the politics of it all. I think it's very stressful.
And it's political. It's no longer about the health. It's political. We all know that.
Just want to be able to go to the beach and relax.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. Do you have like social media or something?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want to shout it out so everyone can find you if they have any more questions?
Okay, well, you can find me at Aaron House of Niagara Falls. Well, my author name for all the books is Catherine Dubois, and the book is The Girl Who Roared Quietly.
Awesome.
Shout out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's good.